The Grapple Gun, a new armory weapon coming in Season 14, and by armory, I mean it'll be available to every single player as a weapon choice. Although not really a weapon, as it doesn't cause any damage, it does however allow the player to traverse the landscape with ease, and also allows them to grapple onto loot for a quick steal, as well as harpoon onto your own or an enemy vessel, giving you an extra chance to get on board. Sounds great, right? Now, I've been put off making a video about this weapon as it's not even in the game yet, and I wanted to see how it evolves when it first hits the live build. But the more I think on it, the more I can see this being a massive problem for the game environment as a whole. I'll start off by saying that on paper, it honestly sounds like a great idea. I can see Rare has their heart in the right place, and giving us all a funny tool to create some hilarious moments, and it will do just that. But I don't think Rare really quite have a broad understanding on how the majority of players actually, well, play their game. First of all, action has recently been taken to stop people doing a certain thing in the game, which allows players to drastically increase their chances for a board. I won't say anything more on the subject, I just really like this fishing rod cosmetic and these cannons. With this method, people are getting boarded not just by the ladders, but also anywhere else on the ship. Ignore the picture, I just really like dolphins. So they attempt to tackle this problem and stop it from happening, good job, and then they just go ahead and give everyone a tool to do practically the same thing. Okay, maybe not as overpowered, but still very much a similar playfield. Now, without the gun actually being in the game, it's going to be hard to voice my concerns with accompanying video. So can we just all imagine this pistol is the grapple gun? Good. So the grapple gun can tag onto any surface, including your ship or somebody else's. This means if you're in the water, not even close, you can get on board and surprise a player or a crew without them even knowing what just happened. Now, I understand, of course, that having the grapple gun means you only have one offensive weapon left, but you see, here's the problem, and I don't need to say anything. Yeah. I don't think Rare fully understand what the boarding meta is all about. I mean, sure, to get on board and wipe the crew is a great boon, and is the ideal situation, but the real purpose for boarding is to become an annoying distraction, whilst you drop their anchor, wait for your crew to catch up and begin a broadside, whilst you hop and scoot about evading enemy combat, becoming a general annoyance. You don't need two weapons for this. In fact, most of the time I board, I survive with simply a stack of blunderbombs at my disposal. But now, with the harpoon gun, not only can you board and anchor them, you can also zip straight out of enemy fire or sword slashes, and if they begin lifting that anchor again, you can just zip right back over there to put the idea to rest. And in this process, if you get knocked off the ship, which will inevitably happen now due to the Blundy 2.0 being hated even more than the one-shot, you'll just be able to easily zip straight back on, use your Blundy 2.0 before they've even had a chance to reload, and knock them off their own ship. The grapple gun, if it goes live as it is showcased, being able to grapple onto any surface of the ship, no matter what range or what the ammo count will be, will fundamentally remove any need at all for naval combat in Sea of Thieves. The blunderbuss was changed with the sole intent of being a defense for this new weapon, but with a grapple gun and a blundy in your armory, the defense of the blunderbuss will become nothing more than a literal offense to crews. And that's not even the start of the problems. Enemy ship is running and has an Athena chest on their deck. Simple. Cannon fire out, land in the water, swipe the Athena chest with a grapple gun, and get picked up by your own ship. Enemy crew is in a broadside with your ship, everyone jump into the water and grapple them off the cannons into the water. And I know this is a small thing really, but isn't this going to completely ruin the puzzle sequences in Tall Tales? I mean, why run the parkour course in Pirate's Life Tall Tale 1 when you can just harpoon directly up to it? Not to mention the amount of exploits people are inevitably going to find that allows them to wedge their character into the map or the hull of a ship to avoid combat. And of course, we all know what's going to happen, what the new meta will be. If you can grapple onto loot, but can also grapple onto any part of the ship, that means people will use loot items in a defense so that the person grappling to try and board will just end up with a useless crate in their hands. Season 14 will see every ship looking like this. This ain't a turkey wall, this is turkey diarrhea. Oh, and good luck getting any sort of server stability when this ship sinks. Yikes! The grapple gun, if it goes to live build as it is showcased in the preview event, even if the range is reduced, even if the ammo count is nerfed, even if the reload time is very slow, will effectively be nothing more than a headache for the players and, more importantly, the developers themselves, as they'll be having to constantly nerf and rebalance it because of the public outcry, much like what's happening to the Blundy 2.0 right now. We tried to warn you, but you didn't listen! How to fix it though? Well, you can start off by just not adding it at all. But we're beyond that now. We're also beyond the idea that it's a weapon that can be found, much like a mermaid star, for example. Development is already too far gone, and they cannot rehash the idea to that much of an extent. I mean, they've probably already made 20 Pirate Emporium skins, let's be completely honest. The only fix I can think at this stage, to not only make sure it's well balanced, but also adds a degree of skill to its literal onboarding, is to make the grapple gun only able to grapple onto enemies' ladders, effectively still giving the player a chance to get a surprise board on the player, but also keep the player field fair for all crew sizes, as there is only one place to defend from boarders, as there always has been. Anyway, I just felt like this needed to be said. Thanks for attending my TED Talk. Some of you may disagree, that's fine, I'm not saying I'm right, just voicing my concerns. Please discuss it like adults in the comments, keep those toys in the pram, please. And if you agree with my statements, drop a like. And if you love my cannon and fishing rod cosmetics, drop a sub. Now here's a song about a grapple gun.
Grapple gun is silly! Oh, break the game!